Okay.
Okay. You wanna
Y-
start?
Yeah, we can get started. Once again, welcome to episode 5 of our little UTI podcast, which has nothing to do with UTI at all. But um, and thanks to everyone that subscribed. I saw that our guest today just subscribed to our channel. Thank you,
Yes.
Justin,
You're
for that.
welcome. Everyone else subscribe too.
um, yeah, and Justin has his own channel. So eat bacon.
Yeah.
Or what is it? Run
Run
ultra, eat bacon, or the other way around?
run trails, eat bacon. My 2 favorite things to do. Run trails, eat
That's
bacon.
right. Yeah. Yep.
I'm subscribed, just so you know.
Oh, so am I.
And I also just wanna go on record, I did get an email asking what to do with a UTI. That would be cranberry juice, or go see your
Oh,
physician.
okay then. Wow, that's your health advice.
That's your health advice.
I don't think we can get in trouble for recommending, cranberry juice.
No.
No. Alright. So we don't know what race you've chosen, and we don't want to know until the end of this. So we're just gonna have a lot of talk, and then we're going to see if we can guess. We've been pretty, I won't say successful so far, but we had one wrong one.
Oh,
Well, I wanna know who this is first. I call
This
him
is
little brother all the time, but
well,
who are you?
this
Where are you
is
from?
I am Justin Smith. I live in Guthrie, Oklahoma. I work at a warehouse, and I also work for the Outlaw 100 race series, and I have a YouTube channel, and I'm going to school to get my master's degree in leadership with a business emphasis, so I'm doing all the things, and in between all that, I love to run 100 milers. That is my favorite distance of choice. Think last year I lined up at 900-mile races and finished 8 of them, so this year I would like to do 10. So I've grown
Wow.
up
oh,
a
that's
lot
good.
since the last time we've hung out and since the last time I paced you at
Oh,
Outlaw
yeah.
and all the fun stuff.
So you're not at all tempted by the 200-mile distance?
I wouldn't mind it. I'd like to try it. I would I kinda have the goal of 100 milers. So, I really don't wanna sign up for a
Yeah,
100K, 'cause if I'm gonna do that big effort, might as well get 100 milers, and then, I'm worried about the 200 miler, 'cause I wanna try to do 1 or 2 a month if I can, you know, I've done them to where they're, like, 2 weeks apart, so I'm worried if you do a 200 miler, how long do you have to
yeah.
wait once you finish the 200 miler before you can get after it again?
About a
Uh,
month.
yeah, about a month.
About a month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bad thing
That'd be
about
hard.
the bad
It is, it really is.
the bad thing about a 200 miler is it only counts as one race.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
'Cause I
I've
know I
done a
did
couple
across the years with
300
you
milers, and
guys.
I'm like, "Come." Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
So across
and
the years,
it's
I got
still
225, but
200.
I don't even know if I consider that a 200 miler because it was a 6-day race. So I am interested. Because
Yeah.
I feel like if I sign up for a more real or more base level 200 miler, I will go through the sleep deprivation because across the years I can just crawl in my tent and sleep whenever I want. So I am interested in it.
Yeah.
Alright,
Whenever you're ready, come talk to me.
yeah. We will be happy to pace you at the Cowboy.
Yep.
Ooh.
The Cowboy is a nice, uncomplicated
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks just like your home, so
true.
well, okay, now
Okay, so for this race, we're gonna go through I'm gonna take you through the timing and the cost and the results. So the first one is the time. So how much time did you spend running this race?
32 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay, so 32.3. And how much travel time did you have?
8 hours.
Oh, point 0.8. That's good. You
it's real
No,
spent
good.
80% of that time
okay.
running.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
You want to spend less time traveling and more time running. That's
Yeah. I don't wanna give too much of a hint, but, the travel was on an airplane, so
doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
it
know,
was yeah.
yeah. It's
I have
just
100 guesses, but,
yeah.
only one will be right.
So how much was the race fee?
It was $150. Extremely affordable.
I must say that's good. And what was your travel cost? Obviously, if ticket's gonna ramp up that cost.
Surprisingly, this was free. I got a free plane ticket.
Free?
Really?
Yeah, so that's really gonna increase my
Okay,
score.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, it
yes,
is.
it is.
It increases my chance of guessing.
Okay. How much did you spend on
How much did I spend where?
on the nutrition for the race?
$50. $50. That's mostly
Okay.
bacon jerky and, Element.
Of course, bacon jerky. Alright. And how much did you spend on shoes?
I got some brand new shoes for this race, so we're gonna go $140.
Ooh, what kind? Ultras.
Topos. Close,
Oh, that's a
Topos.
good shoe
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And how much did you spend on essentials? And what were your essentials for this race?
$50. I got a bunch of water bottles and lots of, like, chafing cream, and I got some toe socks as well.
Yeah. Okay. For all that for $50?
Yeah, I'm cheap.
Oh, that's good. Okay, you got a cost score of 0.38. So a little over one third was your race fee. Not bad at
That's
all,
not bad.
Yeah.
considering the people that spend thousands of dollars on travel.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
Hey, hey, hey.
Okay. Uh, so what was your mileage? Oh, sorry. Was this a fixed distance race or was it a timed race?
Distance, 100 mile.
100 mile. Okay. And so what was your finishing time? So we know your finishing time, 32 and 20 minutes.
Yes, that's correct.
Um, what was your goal time?
33 hours.
Okay. And what was the cutoff time?
33 hours.
Also 33.
Okay.
Okay.
I just
So
wanted to finish under
you
cutoff.
got a results.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So this gives you a or sorry, result score of 0.67. Not bad. So your total return on investment on the financial and time side is 0.61.
that's
Nice.
good.
That's very high. Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah. That
That race fee was very nice.
I think that
Yeah,
I admire the travel cost.
I was
So was
grateful
your
for the
travel
travel
fee.
cost. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go over to my side of things now, and I would
Mhm.
like for you to rate the 8 stations.
I'm gonna go with a 7 because the 8
7. Why?
stations were amazing. They were amazing, but there wasn't many of them.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
How far in between were there? Did you have to go? Was this like a
Uh,
point to point race or in and out?
nope, I can't give it away too much, but it was far, like, there was one where it was 20 miles. So,
Oh,
this is a race that
Okay.
highly
that's a long way
recommends
to
you have a
go. That's
crew.
almost okay. 20 miles is a long way between an aid station.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it was bad.
But I've done it. For lack of a better word, it sucks at times, especially when you need
Mhm,
water
mhm,
Yeah.
and you gulp it all up too early. Yep.
Yeah.
mhm.
So how about the fun factor? I know being around you, it's fun. So
Yeah, it
I am
was a
sure that
9.
your fun factors.
Yes,
9.
it was a
Alright.
9. I had a lot of fun, and I'm really okay, like, being miserable, but this race had almost a little too much misery, which took a tiny bit away from the fun, so we're gonna go 9.
Hi.
Okay.
So was it the people you're around? Because I always, when I see your relives, you're always
Mhm.
have someone next to you and getting some great conversation, and you really
Yeah,
match up with people in a crazy way.
this Yeah, the people for sure. The people were amazing. I met so many interesting new friends, and also the sense of adventure for this race. I've never had a race like this that had that adventure element.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about the trail markings. Were there any? Were they good, bad, removed, stolen?
Non-existent.
Surprisingly, they were amazing. There were, I'm gonna go with a 10 on trail markings. The GPX files were fantastic too. That this race has so many elements with it. You rely heavily on the GPX files, but with this race being covering so much area and so many different, there's like trails and maybe other parts of the city that you have to go through. With this race covering so much distance, there's tons of markers and so many arrows pointing you in the right direction. So I was surprised, as someone that marks trails, I was surprised how well this course was marked for how many intersections and turns that we did have to take. So definitely a 10.
All right.
Right on. That's good.
That's good.
That's
There's
better than my
nothing.
finger pointing trail markers.
There's-
Okay, so the weather.
Weather
Hot,
is a
cold,
8.
rainy, snowy.
So I
Okay.
love hot
Eight.
races.
Okay.
You guys know I ran a race in Texas once where it was 106 degrees and I was still loving it. But I'm going 8 because this was almost too hot. This was so hot to where I'm really comfortable in really hot sauna temperatures, but this really made me uncomfortable in certain sections. So it's going from a 10 down to an 8.
Okay.
Okay.
How hot was it? Was it humid hot or just like
It was
blaring
only
sun?
96 degrees, but the humidity was all the way up.
Gotcha. And that
Okay.
can be miserable.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
sucks the life out of you.
So did you have any pacers?
Yes, this so you guys know I usually don't have pacers. I was actually behind pace on this race. It really kicks my butt. And I was coming up to the 20-mile section. And I was thinking, do I DNF or do I just go out and try it? And when I crossed the finish line to go up, about to go my next loop, they said, "Hey, this guy Eric is here and he's looking to pace someone." And I'm like, "Oh, he doesn't want to pace me. I'm about to go do the 20-mile section." But he had a race in a few weeks he really needed to train for, and he was gonna run this race barefoot. So he wanted to do the 20-mile section with me barefoot, and so I never met this guy, and we end up spending the 20-mile section together. He gets me through the night, and he pretty much saved my race. So, thanks to Eric, Pacer is getting a 9.
All right.
Right on.
That sounds like a good guy.
Would you ever do anything barefoot?
No!
You would?
I don't even walk, like, to get out to my
Oh.
car barefoot.
For those listening, if you had seen his face, it just got like the eyes got really huge. No, no. So how about any crew? Did you have crew?
Now, you guys probably also know that I never have pacers and I never have crew. But after Elena, my amazing wife, saw this race, she's like, "I'm crewing you." And so crew gets a 10 because
Okay.
she saved my race as well. And what was funny about it too is some of the harder sections, I would be out there and I know that she was sitting in the parking lot and I'd find these people and we're suffering together and I'm like, "All right, everyone, we're going to this rental car over here and everybody has to get in for 5 minutes." And we would get in, sit in AC, eat some popsicles, and get back out. So she saved my race and then saved everyone else's race that I made friends with out there as well. So she gets a 10.
All
She
right.
better. We love your wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
She is amazing.
Yes.
Um, okay, blisters, chafing, things that we don't need to know about that happen on an ultra, stomach issues.
It sucked. So on this one, it's tough because, like, if I say, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, if blisters were and chafing was terrible, it's like a 10, but on this rating scale, your 10 is, "Oh, I loved it," and I didn't love it, so I'm gonna go with a 4
Well,
for the blisters and chafing because it was very uncomfortable.
so this is kind of a tricky one because if you're
Okay.
one of those that love to have blisters to show around for bragging rights, you might say, "I got the biggest blister ever," and I think that's a 10, right? Otherwise, you can say, "Well, I'm kinda disappointed I didn't have any chafing because I just love that feeling." So that
Yeah.
would be it. that'll be a 1 if you didn't get any chafing. So it's really up to you. If you hate blisters and you got a lot of them, obviously you rate it low. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's only
we'll
you
stick
that
with
can
a
tell.
4 because the chafing
Okay,
was so
good.
bad, I was looking like a cowboy for days after that race.
I've seen you at across the years.
Yes, we know you suffer.
Yeah.
But, kudos for you to complete still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
So, trail nap comfort. I like to look at it in 2 ways, of course. I look at it where I had to stop, I had to take a nap on the trail and, could have had snakes under you, whatever, or it could be a nice fall or a bad fall. Did you have any of that type of things going on in this race?
What's funny is I ended up watching my YouTube video for a refresher on this, and I actually brought back a memory. I actually when I was with Eric going through that 20-mile section, my feet were so swollen. I was like, "Can I lay on this bench for 5 minutes?" And I laid on the bench for 5 minutes. It was right along the ocean, and then, I was out cold. I passed out. And then he's like, "All right, 5 minutes up, time to go." And I jumped up and we kept going. So and I also did trip. I don't even know what I tripped on because I was in water up to my thighs, and I was trying to record as I'm walking through this murky nastiness, and then I trip and fall even further, and I went further into the water than I would like to go, especially in this, certain area of America. So, yeah, we're gonna go with an 8
Mhm.
because I had an epic nap and an epic trip.
There you go.
that sounds good.
Mental state.
Ooh, this is a 9. I
Did
I
you
I learned a lot about myself in this race. I had to push through so much adversity, and that's why I do these races. I do these to learn, and sometimes you go through a little adversity, but this one was extremely challenging, and for me just to come across the finish line and feel like I can do anything, that's why I signed up for it. So, it wasn't, like, perfect, but it definitely a 9.
Right.
right on.
Okay.
And those are good things. I mean,
Yeah.
learning about yourself on these things is so important, and sometimes you don't like what you find out, and sometimes you learn a lot, and it's a good thing. Okay, hallucinations. Please tell me you had some hallucinations.
Nothing like yours. Every stick was a snake, and and this is the area of the country where you probably don't wanna get bitten by a snake, especially if the snake is in water, so everything overnight just looked like a snake, and I've heard stories of snakes falling from trees on people, so they at the pre-race briefing, they made you aware that, like, you might die, like, it's gonna get crazy, so for me, everything looking like a snake just spiked my anxiety, and it was hard for me to get in a nice rhythm because I just like, "Oh my god. Oh, it's a snake," and just jumping all over the place. So I'm going 7 on hallucinations because 'cause they're not crazy like yours, but they were very prevalent.
And spooky.
It's spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't like the nope ropes. Yeah, okay.
I'm not too afraid. I
I
mean,
kinda
I'm
pictured you
okay
as
with the
a
snake. I just wanna see the snake before I step on it or before it finds me, kind of like yeah,
before it bites you, you wanna see it bite you.
me
Okay.
preferably. So I can tell the doctor what I got bitten by
Yeah,
so they know
okay,
what to give me. Yeah, that'd be nice.
okay. Now you make that sound so sane. Ok okay, so how about the race versus the description? 'Cause y'all,
This was
RG's law.
not this one's a 10 because these race directors for this race almost try to scare you away. They're like, "Hey, if this is your first 100 miler, please don't come because we don't wanna have to come rescue you." There are tons of YouTube videos on it, and that's why I have a lot of respect for, the guy who makes these YouTube videos because I know how hard it is to make them, and he makes a survival guide video. A lot of the videos you see me make now are actually just me kind of copying off him. He did a survival guide video, everything you need for each section of this. So now I'm doing that for the outlaw races. So I'm getting a lot of ideas from him, and it's helping the runners for the outlaw races be more confident going into it. So definitely a 10. It's everything they said it would be, plus the adventure and the pain and suffering. They warned us about it, but it was definitely more fun to feel.
That's
Okay.
good. That's really good.
Yeah.
So,
And then because we had a request.
we had a request, we've added another section, And this
Yeah,
piece of paper says, "New category, ding, ding, swag and finisher swag, medals."
the finisher medal is
I want to know
fantastic.
about this. Yes, that's the swag.
Yes.
Yep.
I will wait until
Thank you
after
for
you
this
guess, and
question.
I'll show you guys the medal. The swag was a long sleeve race shirt
Okay.
and a whole packet of Element, the salt packets, which came in handy. And I think there was also some lube as well, so the swag I'd give a 10 just because the buckle's so awesome. And then, the finisher buckle, the other award I got, which I'll show you guys, and then I love long sleeve shirts because all the heat races I do, everyone's out in those in, like, a tank top, and they're, like, looking like a lobster at the end. The key to those is wearing that long sleeve shirt and
Mhm,
protecting your
yeah,
skin, so I appreciate
yeah.
a nice long sleeve shirt. So we're going 10.
Okay. So that score, the experience score is 7.5. That's good. And that leads us to your overall UTI score is 0.625, which is should be enough to put you in,
1st place, 2nd place?
not first place, probably no, it actually gets you to the bottom.
Oh,
That's interesting.
that is interesting.
Yeah.
Is it because of the
Well,
extra
okay then.
category?
No,
No,
that's no,
Oh,
it's just
awesome.
a combination of everything.
we're still working on it.
Oh.
Work in progress.
It is. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
This is fun. It's the
Well,
first
I
time
mean,
I've ever
so
gotten a
you know what?
score and didn't know if it's good or bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so, I mean, when I got mine in the beginning, I thought, "Oh my god, it's like a D minus." I think I said that a lot. It's like a D minus.
There's just so many factors, right? So you just can't you really just can't, say, well, it's a personal experience, right? It's more than just the race fee and the cost. I mean, some races might be absolutely worth spending a lot of money and time on,
Yeah,
while others might not. And that's why we try to get your experience score into the mix as well,
yeah,
because that is really individual. And two people doing the same race might have completely different scores on the race.
yeah,
100%.
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
We wanna get somebody on here that's done the outlaw,
yeah.
definitely. So, if I had to guess on your race, I would say it was a Florida race, and it has to do with an octopus,
You got it.
where you almost die going through this. I can't remember is it called the Hydra? Is it the
The
Hydra
Vero
or
Beach
something? Is
Octopus
that
Ultra.
close, that was close. And
Yeah, definitely we wanna see the buckle.
yes, when was this race?
Yes. This was July of 2024.
Okay,
Okay.
So first thing I'll show
that's why
you
it was so
is
hot.
this beautiful award here, my DFL
Oh,
award.
Wow,
oh,
wow.
Yes, I got a license
I
plate for getting dead
I
last. Yes, well earned.
I
And
love
let's see if
that.
I can do this any
Well earned.
justice. So if you look close, look at like all like the close design on this. So we'll post a picture of
Yeah,
this
Oh,
afterwards so everyone can see
wow.
it.
that
So yeah, it's just
Yes.
yes,
so much
please.
Yeah, please
detail,
send
so
it.
beautiful. So this is kind of what got me interested in the race. And then I looked at the details. I'm like, oh god, that's gonna suck. But I got to get this buckle.
Yeah.
So, tell us about the race. What is the whole thing? I know there's 8 sections or something like that, right?
Yes,
Or is
this all
there
started
there's
in
multiple
COVID.
sections?
The race director wanted to do a 100 miler, but of course, COVID. So he had everyone meet at his garage and they would go out and do one leg and then do a second leg. And then it grew. And so they have this kind of like island that's connected by a bridge to a whole nother land. So the island is the octo base. That's the start finish line. So you start off running over the bridge to the ocean, run run down the beach for 8 miles, jump back over, run down this sidewalk that's along this highway, and then jump out of nowhere is this jungle trail. And it just has the arrow, and you turn off into a jungle trail, and it's like almost like you're immersed in Jumanji. So you're going through the jungle trail until you get to the dirt road, and you take the dirt road back to the octo base, and that's leg 1. Um, and then I'll kinda go through them quickly. Leg 2, extremely interesting. You're going through mangrove swamps. That's where the swamp water is up to your thighs. It smells terrible. Very, very interesting. Push your way through that, and you get to a boat. The boat takes you to an island. There's a 2-mile loop around this island, so you run around the island, and then you get back to the boat, and then you go back through the swampiness all the way back to the octo base. All these legs I'm talking about are anywhere from, like, 8 to 20 miles. I know leg 3, there was, like, this preserve area that was all sand and exposed. That was the sauna. They called that one Gates of Hell. That's the one where I invited everyone to the rental car for a popsicle party. It was brutal. The 120-mile one that I was telling you guys about, that there's this huge highway that goes all the way down the coast of Florida, but it has this huge sidewalk next to it. So that 20-mile loop, and this is, I think, lap 6 or 7, so I'm over 50 miles into the race. The 20-mile loop is all paved. You go all the way down, and you turn around and come all the way back. So that one was brutal on my feet. Luckily, I had Eric on that one. There's also, one of the legs you go through these condos, these abandoned condos that are just along the beach, which is almost like you're in, like, some kind of video game.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I remember it kinda dawned on me too that, like, I keep running by the 7-Eleven, just like, I can't wait to get to the aid station. I'm like, "I'm just gonna go in the 7-Eleven and buy a popsicle." Like, every time I go by the 7-Eleven, this is my new aid station. I buy a popsicle, I got a Red Bull, um and yeah, it was just such a crazy adventure that there is this small city called Vero Beach, and this race takes you on 8 different directions all around this city to where you run through the parks, you run along the beach, and then you run along the highway. And I do remember too on the Blair Witch Project, which is the overnight one, when you're running on the beach, it's a rule that you can't have white headlamps because the turtles are going out to the water and white light will disrupt their walking pattern or something like that. I'm sure, correct me in the comments, it's something like that. So you had to use your red light while on the beach.
Oh my
So
god.
it was a
Wait,
wild
but
experience,
go
yeah.
back. Blair
Mhm.
Witch? Did you say Blair Witch? Why?
Well,
Is it just
the
a
Blair
crazy
Witch,
name or was it
it's
like
so every one of these legs has a name. So there's like the Gates of Hell, and I wish I could remember them all. But the
Ah,
Blair Witch Project is one that is always ran at night, and it used to be where you run by a cemetery. So they kind of change up the course every
Oh,
year
ah,
or make things a little different. Yeah, but that's why that one's called the Blair Witch.
oh, okay. I was wondering if somebody's coming, "Ah."
someone's really having fun
Yeah.
in these things.
Wow. So
In the
how
race,
did
I
it
checked.
feel to finish?
Oh god, it was
Oh, and
incredible. It was one of those where, like, you wanted to cry, but you've already cried so much you had no tears left. So it was, definitely
ah,
a wild achievement. And there was a lot of things too going into this race. So, the reason why I got the free plane ticket is because this was gonna be my whole family coming together in Florida. But right before the race, my grandpa got sick, so my family ended up staying in Ohio. And then I was like, "Do I go to Ohio? Do I go to the race?" And my family told me, "No, no, you go run the race and run it for grandpa." So the whole time, I was just thinking, "I'm gonna finish this for him. I'm gonna finish this for him." And it was weird,
Yeah.
like, staying in the Airbnb, me and Elena, and the family should be there, but it's just us, and it's like, "Are we allowed to have fun?" But we made the best of it, but it was extremely emotional getting across that finish line, and I
Right.
was so exhausted. And I don't know if you guys ever felt this way. I know people really love showers. This was one of the races where I was like, "Can I just lay down and sleep before I shower? Because I am so exhausted. I don't wanna stand up anymore." Yes, and lucky for us, we had the Airbnb where I can just lay down on one of the beds and then go shower and then sleep in the bed we were actually sleeping in.
so your wife brought you bacon then, right? Because I know this is a
Oh, she
ritual,
was
the
a
bacon.
lifesaver. This never happened to me before. When I was with Eric doing the 20-mile loop, we were going through the night and the sun rose, and then someone, like, pulls up on the side of the road, like, right where we're running, and I'm like, "Wait a minute." I'm like, "I think that's Elena." And she gives me a burrito, and I took one bite and started crying. I was like, "I'm so hungry." So, she was a lifesaver. Yes, I've never cried over burrito before, but here we are. That's what this race will do to you. It'll make you cry over bacon, cry over burrito, and feel like you're an 8-year-old when you're eating your popsicles.
There you go.
Okay.
That's why you rated it so
That's,
high. Yeah.
Yep.
so this really takes a toll on you emotionally, this
What was the
race.
last
Yes.
leg like? What did it called?
Oh, thank you for that. How did I forget that? So the Octobase is almost like 1 mile away from the beach. So your last leg, you are 98 miles in, you run out to the ocean, touch the water, turn around and come back. So the last leg's only 2 miles and it's pretty much a victory lap.
Ah,
Okay.
so is the sun coming up when you did that, or was it that would've been about midday?
Midday, 'cause I'm so slow.
Did
But
you
yeah,
wanna
I'm sure if you're a fast runner, you can get a sunrise on the beach while you touch it. But yeah, the sunrises and sunsets were fantastic. That those alone would make I'm not an emotional guy,
I
like,
bet.
I'm a former fighter, but, like, seeing the sunset, I'm like, "I have so much gratitude. I am so happy right now. This is, like, my happy place. This is, like, blissful." And the same thing with the sunrise. And of course, the sunrise, I was just happy to get that energy that the sunrise gives you too.
Right.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever get in the water to cool off?
Not during the race, all the chafing. I mean, I'm not trying to I was trying to avoid the water. It did rain on us. It rained on us, and I was like, "Yes, this is amazing." And then the rain went away, the sun came out, and I'm like, "Here's the chafing. Okay, I guess, like, that's the kind of the trade-off," like but yeah.
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 I'm so sorry that happened to you.
I mean, wet clothes can be really, really hard on you.
Mhm.
It's terrible on your
Yeah.
skin.
Yep.
And it's still 150 bucks too, so it's one of those where, like, if you want anyone wants to go down there, it is quite the adventure. I do recommend getting a crew just because the segments are so long. But it's one of
Yeah.
those where Elena and I would just go to different coffee shops and go to the beach every day, and then, like, "Oh, it's race day," and then when it was race day, she would just kinda hang out in the car and read books while I ran around the city. But it definitely you can definitely turn this race into your next vacation.
Okay.
Huh. Well, you know what just went on my list?
Not this race.
Yes, yes. He's like, "No. We'll interview
That
you."
just sounds like it's like way too much suffering for my taste.
Yeah, it's rough.
So what's next for you? I know you're working
Iron
on your
Will
100, you're on
Bucklemania.
your 30.
I've
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
I've finished 2,200 milers, so, I'm going through a knee injury right now, but I do start physical therapy on it, but my next race is Iron Will Bucklemania 48 hours, so even if my knee isn't healed up to run, I can power hike that, no problem.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
have some bad influencing friends. I think I have a 100 miler before this in May. I think I have another 100 miler in May, but my friends are wanting to run across the state of Iowa, and it's a relay. And I said, 100%, yeah, I'm in, let's go. And they know, like, I'm the kind of like long distance ultra runner guy. And then they tell me, okay, here's the details. And you have to average under a 10-minute pace. Well, I'm the back of a pack 100-mile guy. I don't run 10-minute like anything. Like even when I start, I'm like, why am I on your team? This is terrible. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna
Yeah.
do the relay across Iowa in June. July, I will be doing Burning River in Ohio. That way I can see my family in Ohio and also knock out a 100 miler. Yep. I got some more Iron Wheel races. I got Pumpkin Holler. So lots of 100 milers, and I'll probably add more. You guys know how I do. So I'll add more and make videos and keep the adventure going.
That's
Well, in 2026, we will be out there running all those with you. We've been putting together a list, and it just seems that Kansas, Oklahoma, and I guess Missouri, they have a 100 miler every weekend. So we're hoping to knock off about 20 in 2026. So we'll be doing just like
Nice.
you are. Thanks to
Yeah.
Iron Will. I mean, he has to be so inspiring. Yeah, let's just go run one a week.
have you done the Bucklemania before?
Yeah, yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I
yeah.
ran. I mean, I was out there with you
Okay.
guys. You probably don't remember me because you saw the back of my head because you just kept passing me over and over and over. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
I was out there, got the video, and
I
that just shows how many we
I
run
was
that we're
jumping
like,
in on.
yeah. I remember Scott Pitti being there, but everything is a blur about that race because it got so freaking cold at night,
mhm,
and
You
we were
remember
just
how cold it got there?
struggling to stay
it was
Dang.
calm.
not fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was not
No.
Yep.
fun.
I remember it was
Yeah.
So
me, it was all of us, Dylan and Jackie, of course, was out there, so Jackie was always an adventure, so she's always fun. So, yep.
She brings something to the races, yeah, she
She'll be
does.
on in a few weeks.
What do you guys have coming up? I think the last time I saw you guys, I went to a bowling alley to get you guys burgers at the Cowboy 200 when you were sitting in an aid
That's
station
right.
baking. So I think that's the last time I saw you guys. So what do you guys got coming up next?
Let's see, 2 weeks, we're doing Beyond Limits Ultra in California. 2 weeks later, we're gonna be at,
Flat Rock.
Flat Rock, and then
Nice.
we got a
Okay.
huge summer. We're gonna do, oh, I guess we can announce it now. We're doing in the same time frame that you would do the Triple Crown, we're doing a quadruple crown. We're gonna do the
Wow.
Sticks, the Summit, Front Range, and the Cowboy 2 all of them are 200 milers. So we're racking up about close to 900 miles or more in the same
Awesome.
time frame as the the Triple Crown.
Yeah,
I
that's
will
kind of our
see
big
if I can
year.
fit the
And
sticks.
then
I'll see if I can Yeah, I'll see if I can put the sticks on the schedule,
yeah,
because I would like to do more looped races with you guys, because 'cause you're so fast, but then when the nighttime comes, you almost go my speed, so we can hang out then and talk, and then when the daylight comes, you guys can fly
Yeah,
around me
that
again, and we
sounds
can have some fun.
yeah.
yeah, let's do it.
And now that we're all on YouTube, we can all film each other.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
what you don't know is we bring a wildlife cam, and we hook it up in the exact middle, so in the middle of the night when people are coming around looking their worst, that's how you get your,
Yeah.
race pics.
That's
Y'all should
good.
put one out there to outlaw.
Yeah.
That's what yeah.
Unfortunately, we had
I
an
know
inc
people do
yeah,
the happy jumping race pics, but I think the, "Oh my god, I hate my life" race pics are so much better. They really tell the story.
Yeah,
yeah,
yep,
yeah,
put out a deer cam, it works.
yeah.
Thousands and
As
thousands of
long as no
pictures.
one reverses into it and knocks it over.
Or decides that that area is a bathroom. It works really well.
Or they hallucinate and think that aliens are watching
We
them through the camera.
yeah.
Or
It's,
they kill grasshoppers, just saying,
yeah.
and frogs with a water
Frogs.
bottle. Little brother.
Yeah. It's,
Yes.
no. That sounds like you got a full summer ahead of you.
Yeah,
But, yeah, definitely would love to
Yeah.
see you at the Sticks.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I wanna fill it
And
up more too. I know
it's
last year I was with Will every weekend when he was doing the 800 milers in a row. So
yeah,
I tried to run 3 of those and I paced almost all of them. So just that experience alone of watching someone do 800 milers in a row almost normalized it for me. That's like, this is something if you train hard enough and you're tough enough, you can do as many 100 milers as you need to do. You just have to put in the work to get there. So it really it made me
yeah,
not afraid to sign up for so many 100 milers and put them on my schedule. I just know I need to make sure my base level of fitness is high enough to get there.
Right.
right.
And, out there in the heartland, the race, fees are a little bit cheaper because
Mhm.
everyone is going hitting all these 100 milers, and they fill up quick. I've
Yeah.
tried to get on a few,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, "Come on. It's 12:01. It's been
Yes.
open 1 minute." Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited
Uh,
for your guys' podcast too, to see how many race directors are like, "How'd you hear about our race?" And they're like, "Oh, the UTI podcast." So I'm
yeah.
real curious to see what this does for races.
For those listening or watching, if you wanna get on here, just pick me in the comment.
Yeah.
And I love what you guys are doing because
Maybe
everyone
they
loves a good mystery. So I think everyone plays
yeah.
along on this because when I listen to Scott Haggerty's, I'm like, "Is he talking about the hawk?" And I had, like, all these different ones going through my brain, so it is really fun to play along. So I'm curious how many people listen to mine and be like, "Oh, he's definitely in Florida," or, like, if they wouldn't even know, and then maybe after listening to this race, they'll look it up and see about doing that themselves, or see, like, how crazy it was, be like,
Right.
"Yeah, Justin's an idiot. That was an absolutely crazy race."
Yeah. And I try to in just a short description you put on, I don't reveal anything really. I just bring the essential for Scott Haggerty. It was a muddy race. That was the only thing he talked about. Um,
Mhm.
with you, I'm still working on what I'm gonna say. What I'm
Snake,
gonna write, snake.
nope ropes, and
Snake
bacon.
Oh,
snake and human.
Snakes and bacon, there we go.
Snakes and bacon.
There we go.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we try to, yeah, it should be fun, and it's a different way of talking about your race,
mhm.
right? Having fun with it at the same time. Right? Throw a random number on things and give you a score that doesn't mean anything, but at least for me, it's just I love numbers, and I just want to put numbers on races, and I'm curious what how other people feel about their races.
And this race
Yeah,
concept, his concept came up from hallucinations from the race we're going to next week. He was
nice.
tired and talking and battling, and all of a sudden he decides that he wants to start a podcast doing just this. So,
Yeah, and what is I mean, with all the suffering and the money you spend on, shoes and clothes, what is your
is it
return on
worth it?
investment? Is it worth it? Is it worth your money and your time?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and of course, they were laughing at me at the aid station. They didn't think it was gonna go anywhere. Um,
And now you
I
guys are
even
booked
started
up and you
developing
got April and yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we're booked up till May now.
We don't want to hear about the perfect race. We
Yeah,
want to hear about the ones where you struggle, right?
Oh,
yeah,
The
yeah.
ones with the
That's
good
where the
story
stories are.
behind it.
yeah,
Yeah, the stories always
yeah,
come
Yeah,
through adversity, and I think that's where also we can relate with the person because no one's had a perfect race. So, that's good. Now I like the way
yeah.
you kinda separate
yeah,
everything out to kinda dive into that too, because I'm real curious how many people out there because I never use crew or pacers. I mean, this is the one race where I had both, and I've probably ran like
yeah.
2,800 milers. So, I'm curious, I'm gonna listen to a lot more episodes and see if I'm crazy for never having pacers or if there's a lot of other people like me.
Right.
Well, that's a mystery you can
Yep.
follow on in the future on these podcasts and find out.
And I do
That
know
means
I'd love to have
subscribe.
you on again, and I want your wife. Yeah, and subscribe. And I would love to have your wife on, have her give me a message. Um, even though I know which race that she would probably talk about since I was there, but I think it's the suffering and the humanity that she showed during that race. She was wonderful to watch.
Yeah,
So if you can
Oh,
talk
yeah.
her into it,
That'll be tough, but she loves you
that
guys,
that
so
could
she
be
might do
good.
it for you guys. It'll yeah, because she's
we love
definitely
her too.
is not
Yeah.
one to jump in front of the camera, but if I tell her Lisa Marie asked, she'd be like, "Oh, well, you know." So, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Justin. It
And,
was a
Alright, thank
pleasure
you
to see you
guys.
again.
yes. Okay.
Yes, awesome. I had a lot of
And,
fun, and everyone subscribe if you haven't
I
subscribed yet.
hope
Find them on YouTube and subscribe because it helps, and yeah, I'm excited to hear what you guys have coming out next. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Yep.
a
And
big
please
pleasure.
send some pictures of you during the race. It'll go up there. And a picture of your
Yep,
buckle or anything else, picture of
Yeah,
the popsicle car aid station would be fun too.
and I'll go and find
awesome.
the link to your YouTube video and put it up as well,
Yep.
so you can get
Yes,
some views directed to you. Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
Thank you guys, I'll see you later.
Alright, see you. Have a good night.